All right, you said Creole.
Yes.
Can I get the state put their names on the record?
Taylor May on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Good morning,
Public
Your Honor.
Defender.
Tyler Brands on behalf of the Office of Public Defender.
Letitia George on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Morning, Your Honor. Scott Messinger for Daniel Lee.
The Creole? You said you gave me Creole, so I'm waiting. Am I doing, what's usually language line? Okay, I thought we were doing the, all right. All right, let's handle our 33-day motions. The first one I have is Corsello, a 2021 CF 3568AO.
Notice and on filing.
I'll be granted. I have Dickerson, 2021 CF 3176AO.
Notice and on filing.
Granted. I have Johnson, 2021 CF 3569AO.
Notice and on filing.
Granted. I have Martin, 2021 CF 3621AO.
Notice and on filing.
Granted. I have Mitchell, 2021 CF 2482AO.
Notice and on filing.
Granted. I have Sears, 2020 CF 13502AO.
Notice and on filing.
All right, granted. Hello?
Hello, this is the interpreter. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you get your name and your ID number?
My name is Vanessa Macalo Velasquez. I don't believe I have my
Okay.
number.
That's fine. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Yes,
Do you solemnly swear or affirm you'll translate from English to Creole and Creole to English to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do.
All right. I have a defendant at the lectern. His case number is 2021 CF 3929AO. Sir, can you tell me your name?
Monsieur, s'il vous plaît, capable de nous nom? The interpreter couldn't hear the response.
Spencer Luma.
Vincent Luma.
Sir, you are here in 2021 CF 3929AO on charge of sexual battery on a person 18 years or older.
Your Honor, we actually filed an information.
Monsieur, ou la jodi a pour ka 2021 F3929 AO avec une accusation d'agression sexuelle sur un monde qui a moins de 18 ans.
All right. What did you charge in your information?
Your Honor, we filed 3 counts of lewd and lascivious battery, Florida Statute 800.044A, which is an F2.
L'ordonneur nous accuse de comportement lubrique et lascif et de agression lubrique et lascif qui c'est un délit majeur deuxième degré.
So I think the alleged victim in the affidavit was 15 years of age at the time of the incident.
I
Et on
believe
dit selon document CIE que victime n'a pas 15 ans, le acte l'a été fait.
I believe so, Your Honor.
Oui, quoi, votre honneur.
So I guess based on what I read, it sounded like it was lewd lascivious battery of a child over the age of 12 by a child under the age of 8 by a person over the age of 18, but they didn't file the custodial familial relation.
No, Your Honor.
Gela pour ça moi c'était une agression lubrique et lascif, un petit monde qui a plus que 12 ans, non mais un monde qui a plus que 18 ans. et moi gen lè pas jwenn papier qui dit que te genyen yon loyer familial.
All right. Sir, in that case, in the 3 counts of your information, I'm going to set your bond at the amount of $25,000 on each count.
Et m'a pe, selon 3 accusations que moi wè la yo, m'a ba une caution de $25,000 sur chaque accusation.
Condition of your bond that you have no contact with the victim or the victim's family.
Et puis, comme condition pour caution tout, c'est pour pas gagner aucun contact avec victime nan, ni famille victime nan.
Do not return to the scene of the location where the incident happened.
Si gon tourne côté Zak la te fait, ni côté Zak la te fait.
You're not possessing weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release.
Puis gon gen aucun zam ou bien aucun bagay qui sa moun mari, si ta gen aucun bagay sa yo, c'est pour ta remettre et la loi li 24 heures après yo fin libéré yo.
No contact includes while you're here in custody at the Orange County Jail.
Could Your Honor repeat that for me?
No contact with the victim and the victim's family includes the time while you're here at the Orange County Jail.
Et puis pour pas gen aucun contact avec victime nan, ni famille victime nan, même pendant ou la nan prison.
And that's all forms of contact. No third-party contact, no social media, no letters.
Et ça c'est quel que soit forme contact là, pinga ou ta contacté ou que c'est à travers réseau social et aucun lettre, aucun bagay comme ça.
Obviously, no direct contact as well.
Et puis maintenant pour pas gen aucun contact direct non plus.
I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Ma pas pour défenseur public là pour ka représenter ou nan ka ça passe bonne journée monsieur.
Do we have anything else for the interpreter? Any Creel? All right, thank you, Madam Interpreter. Have a great day.
Likewise, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, what you got? I have, Carvar Hollow. All right. This 2021 CF 4901 AO. Mr. Carvajal. I want to appoint a public defender to represent him.
Your Honor, we'd like to put in a waiver of appearance.
All right, the court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, did find probable cause for his arrest. Gonna set his bonds at count 1 in amount of $1,000, count 2, $1,500. Condition of the bond that he not return to the scene of the location, that he have no contact with the victim. He not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms he has needs to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Armstrong.
Mr. Armstrong, you're here in 2021 MM 2890 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $1,000. Condition of your bond that you have no contact with the victim, maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. State, is there an offer to resolve this open traffic case? Ms. Osceola?
It's an Osceola case, Your Honor.
All right. Not gonna take any action right now on your 2020 CT 3213 AO case from Osceola County, but the judge down there may at some later time. Have a great day, sir. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Samuel Bradford Laney.
Mr. Laney, you're here in 2021 CT 3196 AO on a charge of driving under the influence. I reviewed the charging affidavit. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to release you on pretrial release in this case. Conditions of your pretrial release that you not possess any drugs, alcohol without a valid prescription. You do not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license.
Your Honor, may our office request ROR instead of PTR?
Under what basis?
It's a DUI. We would prefer a non-monetary
I
solution.
can't hear you, like you got speaking.
I'm sorry, I was hearing some feedback.
You have a cell phone up there, you may want to move it.
Sorry, Your Honor. We were just requesting a non-monetary remedy. It's a DUI, non-violent. The cost of PTR is considered as well.
Well, he has a prior violation of probation, so he doesn't qualify for straight release, ROR. He also has other criminal history that is concerning to the court. He reports a history of drug and alcohol abuse. So this is aligned with what my release conditions are. So, sir,
The violation of probation was 6 years ago as well. So if the court could consider that as
okay.
a different situation. Thank you.
All right, sir. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you 30 days before the first narcotics test happens.
I'm sorry, say it again, Judge.
I'll give you 30 days before the first narcotics test, before it becomes active, so you can get whatever, if you have some narcotic in your system, you want to get out before you get violated. But if you use, so after you leave here, then you're going to get popped. All right?
Does that mean I'm going on probation, or I'm just going to be?
No, you're going to be supervised by pretrial release.
Okay.
You can't possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription.
Okay.
You're drug tested, and you can't operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license.
Okay. May I say something?
Yes, sir.
I was about to put myself into a rehabilitation center.
Yep, then
So-
that sounds like that might meet all the criteria for doing that.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yes, sir. I plan on doing that within this week. So.
All right. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you very much, Judge. Yes, sir.
All right. Can you tell me your name, ma'am? I'm sorry, sir.
Patrick Gibson, Your Honor.
Mr. Gibson, you're here in 2021 MM2873 AO on charge of trespass on property after warning. I reviewed the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. State was an offer to resolve his case.
Yes, Your Honor, withhold credit time served and no return to health absent a medical emergency.
Mr. Gibson, do you want to take the state's offer this morning to resolve your case with a withhold of adjudication of guilt? I give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail. There's court costs amount of $273. Do you want to take that offer?
I was told I can do no contest, and
You can, if you want. All right, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Right hand. There you go. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes, I do.
All right, so you can put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 MM2873 AO on a charge of trespass on property after warning. I reviewed the charging, that's a first degree misdemeanor. It's punishable with 1 year in the county jail and $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
What's that?
This charge is punishable up to the maximum penalties are 1 year in the county jail and $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
I was told I could have a year to pay for it.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's not what I'm talking about.
correct, I
I
understand.
have to talk to you about what the maximum penalties for this charge is.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I understand that I do
Right.
have that year to pay for it. Yes, I understand, I'll pay for it.
All right, you told me you want to enter a plea of no contest. Is that correct?
Correct.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights listed on the plea form that's in front of you.
That's correct.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, I'm not.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, I haven't.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, they haven't.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, I do. I'm a United States citizen.
All right. I had an opportunity to review your charging affidavit. I do find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll withhold adjudication of guilt. I give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court costs and cost of prosecution in this case are $273. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full.
I
You got
appreciate that, Your Honor.
Right. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Melissa Cruz refused court.
That's not who I had next. I had, Gardner. You guys make it,
Baumgartner?
Gardner?
Gartner.
All right, good morning, sir.
Morning,
Can you tell me your name?
Stephen Baumgartner.
Sir, you're here in 2021 CF 3153AO on charge of sexual offender failure to register. The warrant, judge signing your warrant has already found probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond amount of $1,000 on this case. Condition of your bond is you have 48 hours to report to the sheriff's office. To report is a violent sexual predator or sex offender in this case. Want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case.
Your Honor, my client is on, SSI, and it seems on the warrant, the judge set the bond at 500. His last failure to comply, it looks like, was in 2015. We'd ask that you take that into consideration. It looks like it was a failure to update his driver's license. And due to the fact that he's on Social Security income, we would just ask that you stay the bond at 500, Your Honor.
I'll meet you halfway, 750.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You still got to get to the sheriff's office once you get out of here, sir. Report. Otherwise, you're going to get violated again. I'll see you very soon. This is 2021 CF 4922AO. You want to appoint a public defender to represent Ms. Cruz?
We'll wait Ms. Cruz's appearance, Your Honor.
All right. Gonna stay her bond in count one amount of $100. Count two, gonna set her bond amount of $500. Gonna stay her bond in count three in amount of $150. Condition her bond that she not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. All right, it's 2021 CF 4940AO. Michael Frazier, want to appoint a public defender to represent him.
We'll wait the appearance, Your Honor.
Gonna review Mr. Frazier's charging affidavit, did find probable cause for his arrest. Gonna stay his bond amount of $1,000 in count one and $100 in count two. Condition of his bond that he not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. He's out on bond in 2020 CF 14117AO, as well as in 2021 CF 4410AO. Want to revoke those bonds. Want to set new bonds at $0 in that case. In those cases. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Daniel Lee.
Mr. Lee, you're here in 2021 CF 4953AO for 29 counts of promoting sexual performance of a child and 39 counts of possession of materials depicting sexual performance by a child. The judge signing your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. Mr. Messenger, what did you want to tell me anything about
Thank
these
you, Your Honor.
conditions before I set them?
The issuing judge said that IAs could, that bond could be set at IAs. Will the court indulge defense and allow defense to make just a few comments about the setting of bonds?
Yeah, he's entitled to bond. These aren't punishable life offenses or life offenses or capital offenses, so.
May I make brief argument for a comparatively low bond, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Your Honor, Mr. Lee has been in the area since 1990. His family owns a business, Chico's Sub Shop, near Camping World Stadium. So he's not a flight risk. In addition, he owns a home in Winter Garden. He was gainfully employed. When this case came about, he prepared for it. He quit a job because he knew bad things were going to happen. He actually wanted to turn himself in, but couldn't because they went out to get him first. He has already, before he was arrested, he was seeking the services of a professional for a charge-appropriate evaluation and also a charge-appropriate treatment. He can work at his family's business. 68 counts is nothing to sneeze at, of course, Your Honor, but I'm sure the court noted that these all derive a short time period according to the charge between the 20th and 25th. It's actually probably 1 day only. He would be glad to volunteer not to have any contact with or not to touch a computer that has internet capacity. His brother couldn't make it here short notice. Will probably break his hands if he even goes so near a keyboard or a cell phone, and he would be more than willing to offer up as a condition of release that appointment for a specialist for an evaluation at his own expense. We thank the court, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Lee, I'm going to set your bond in each count in amount of $2,000. Condition of your bond is that you don't have no unsupervised contact with any child under the age of 18 years old, that you are to not have any internet access, you not possess any pornographic materials. You already have Mr. Messenger representing you, so have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
That was $2 grand on all 68, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. I've been instructed to ask the court by Muska law if I'm permitted to withdraw now our representation ended, or would the court prefer that we do that subsequently with the filing?
Please,
Thank you, Your Honor.
because he left and I need to talk to him about that.
Sir?
I would need to talk to him about that, so he already left, so have a great day. Tell me your name, sir.
Maurice Leonard Reed.
Mr. Reed, you're here in 2021 CF 4955AO on charges of burglary of a dwelling with assault, battery therein with a firearm, attempted felony murder with a weapon or firearm, aggravated battery causing great bodily harm with a firearm, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. The judge signing your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. State, what do you say as to counts 1 and 2 in this case?
Your Honor, as to 1 and 2, state would ask that you hold him no bond pending an Arthur hearing.
I want to appoint the public defender to represent you, Mr. Reed. I don't know, Ms. George or?
No argument, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Reed, as to counts 1 and 2, the court's going to hold you at no bond. As to count 3, the court's going to set your bond amount of $25,000. Count 4, we're going to set your bond amount of $25,000. Condition of your bond is you have no contact with any victims or victims' families, that you do not return to the scene of the location where this incident happened. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Say any other release conditions you want me to set?
Not at this time, Your Honor, since he's held on no bond.
Have a great day, sir. Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
Hey, my name is Nancy.
What's your full name, ma'am?
Nancy Severe.
Ms. Severe, you're here in 2018 CF 9963AO on a failure to appear warrant. The judge signing your warrant set your bond at $0. We're going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case if not already appointed. You have a great day, ma'am.
Okay, so that means. Bond is at $0, I just go home today?
No, ma'am, you're going to be staying here with me until you see your division judge.
Hmm?
You're going to stay here with me until you see your division judge.
Stay here with you?
Yes, ma'am. Tell me your name, sir.
Marvin Williams.
Mr. Williamson, you're here in 2021 CF 4934AO on charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and resisting an officer without violence. I reviewed the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. Going to set your bond in count 1 in an amount of $2,500. Going to stay your bond in count 2 in an amount of $150. Additionally, your bond that you not have any contact with any victims or witnesses from this case, that you not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not return to the scene of this location where the incident happened. Sir, you're out on bond, out on probation in 2020 CF 2323AO. In that case, the court is going to find an on-view violation of your probation based on the probable cause of termination in 2021 CF 4934AO. Going to hold you at no bond as to that charge. Sir, you qualify as a violent felony offender of special concern. You're not going to be entitled to release on that case until your violation of probation is completed. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you as well in 2020 CF 2323AO. You have a great day, sir. I want to appoint a public defender to represent Mr. Jorge Ovelos in 2020 CF 2020 MM 4707AO.
We'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, he's here for a failure to appear warrant. The judge already set his bond at $2,000. The bond remains as set. No, that's failure to appear. I'm not taking any action on his other out on bond case 2020 MM 1338.
Good morning, Your Honor. Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter. On the line, already sworn in today.
Good morning, Mr. Romero. This is Judge Bain calling from BRC1. I see you already made a connection. Ma'am, can you tell me what your name is?
Liz Figueroa Rodriguez. Liz Figueroa Rodriguez.
Liz Figueroa Rodriguez.
Ma'am, you are here in 2021 CF 4873AO on charge of accessory after the fact to a second-degree felony involving a child. The judge signing your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest.
¿Cómo? No lo entendí.
I didn't understand.
You're arrested for being an accessory after the fact to a second-degree felony involving a child. That's the charge you're facing. The judge has already found probable cause when they signed the warrant in this case. According to the affidavit, it was alleged that you helped conceal evidence, including a firearm. I'm gonna set your bond in this case in the amount of $5,000 in this case. You may not have any contact with the victims in this case. You may not have any related to this case. You may not have any contact with the defendants related to this case. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case, ma'am. You have a great day.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Madam Interpreter, I have one more case, 2021 CF 4945AO. Sir, can you tell me your name?
Amir Rodríguez Irizarry.
Amir Rodriguez Irizarry.
Sir, you're here in 2021 CF 4945AO on charge of possession of cocaine and possession of cannabis. Did review the charging affidavit in this case. Did find probable cause for your arrest.
Your Honor.
I'm going to release you, sir, on your own recognizance as to both of these charges. In addition to your release, you're not possessing any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Okay, gracias. Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Romero. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
No. What was PC? I found probable cause, I just released him. So, and from Barnes, I'm just addressing the out-of-county warrant. Anybody can tell me what happened yesterday?
Your Honor, regarding Mr. Barnes, this case came up, and Dexter approached the bench and had a conference with Judge Gibson, and then it got reset for today. So
Okay.
I am not sure.
All right, well, maybe we can find Mr. Barnes today. Say he was unavailable. That's what the court minute said, so. I don't know, is Mr. Barnes back there with us today? Yes, he is. All right, we're gonna find him, I guess. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Evan Scott Barnes, Jr.
Mr. Barnes, you're here in an out-of-county warrant in 2021 CF 1999. The judge in, I tried to write it down, Seminole, let me check. The judge in Pasco County has already set your bond amount of $20,000. Your bond's going to be, Pasco County, bond's $20,000. Yep, that's what I'm addressing. He's not on, this is an add-on. This is not out of, I don't know why they marked this as, he's just an out-of-county warrant that he's being served with.
No
Just-
action on his out-on bond, Your Honor?
Yeah, he was just seen on the, we just saw him recently, right? I didn't have enough information from Pasco County to say that this case originated.
I believe he was seen for his out-on bond. His last court, it was an arraignment on the 31st of March.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it was an in-jail arraignment, though.
So the question is, when did he bond, and when did the Pasco County case happen? I don't even have the little yellow sheet to give me all the information. Yeah, but the yellow sheet gives me all good, valuable information when he bonded out. So I can then assess whether he was out on bond when a new law offense happened.
Your Honor, it looks like the bond was filed January 27th of 2021 in his out on bond case.
All right, and then the Pasco County case, I mean, I can take Mr. Barnes back for a minute, give you a chance to look at Pasco County on CCIS or something to tell me more information.
I have it pulled up, Your Honor.
All right, we'll pass Mr. Barnes. We'll get back to you in a moment, and we'll address whether we're going to take action on your out on bond case. Okay. Ladies, what happened to my first page, all my notes on it?
Your Honor, there's no information on the Pasco case.
No, I write all my notes on the front page, so. All right, sir, can you tell me your name?
Anthony Santori.
Mr. Santori, you're here in 2021 CF 4949 AO on charge of tampering with a witness to hinder communication and battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Because I'm missing my front page. Do you qualify for PTR?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, sir, I'm going to set your bond to count one, amount of $250, count two, $250. You'll be subject to pretrial release supervision. Condition your supervision that you have no contact with the victim, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms in this case need to be any weapons or firearms in your possession need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir. All right. And now we're back to Mr. Barnes.
I don't have anything on Pasco County, Your Honor. I don't know. For CCIS, there's nothing on there, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I just asked you to take no action.
Yep. So without any, I mean, you always can file a motion later to
Revoke.
yeah, to revoke his bond, but I don't have enough information to do that right now, so I'm not gonna take any action. 2021 CF 1022 AO.
All right, thank you.
Have a great day, sir.
Okay, so I have no warrant out of Pasco?
You have a warrant out of Pasco County for $20,000 as the bond. The issue was that whether that offense happened during the time while you're out on release on your case from the bond out in January. If that have happened, then I would have took action on that case and probably took your bonds away. But I don't have enough information to do that because I don't know when I don't know if that's something from last year, 2 years ago, yesterday.
Okay.
I have no idea when that happened. So without that information, I can't take any action. So, but that may happen later on once they find out whatever's going on in Pasco County.
All right.
All right. Have a great day, sir. All right. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Corey Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, you're here in 2017 CF 15430, 15438, on a charge of violation of probation. The court is going to stay your bond in that case amount of $0. Because you are considered a violent felony offender of special concern, so you're not going to be entitled to release on that case until your probation violation is completed. You're also here in 2021 CF 4950 AO on charge of kidnapping, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. State, what do you say is the count? I did find probable cause after reading the charging affidavit. State, what do you say as to count one?
Your Honor, as to count one being a PBL, still would ask that you hold him in bond pending an Arthur hearing.
I want to appoint the public defender to represent you, Mr. Jackson, in both cases.
Excuse me.
I had a question.
Excuse me.
It shows that he has
Oh, sorry, you got Leslie Sweet on.
the VOP, but I wanted to verify.
Did you hire Mr. Sweet on the
Yes, I have
VOP?
an attorney. Yes,
On the VOP?
and on this case also.
And on this case?
Yes, sir.
Is Ms. Sweet filed notice of appearance in this case?
Yeah, she didn't file a notice on this one, she filed something pertaining to bond on this one. So
Which
that's
one?
why I was gonna ask you. She didn't file it on a new ballot, because you know this is a new one.
Yeah. You filed something related to bond as to, on which one?
On the bill. She needs,
Well, I'm gonna deny that right now.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna be heard on that. Well, you might wanna give Ms. Sweet a call. Do you want us to call Ms. Sweet?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys can.
All right, let's try to get Ms. Sweet on the line if we can. It should be on the end of that motion. Yeah. All right, Mr. Jackson, step back and we'll try to get Ms. Sweet on the phone.
Do you guys need her number? I have it.
yeah, we're gonna pull it.
All right. Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
Amelia Bassoon.
Ma'am, you're here in 2021 MM2879AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Sir, can you tell me your name?
Philip Ferrer.
Mr. Ferrer, you're here in 2021 MM2880AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause as to your arrest as well. Is it Bassoon?
Yes.
Ms. Bassoon, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Ferrer?
He's my ex-boyfriend.
All right, do you want to have contact with your Mr. Ferrer?
No.
All right. Mr. Ferrer, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. I'm guessing you want to have contact with Ms. Bisson, Ms. Bassoon.
I mean, if she's saying no, it doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? No contact order is gonna be in place either way, right?
Well, that's most likely what's going to happen, but I got to give you a chance to tell me what's going to happen, what you think.
It doesn't matter to me.
All right.
I'm okay with contacting if she wants to contact me.
All right, Ms. Bassoon, in your case, they're going to set your bond in the amount of $500, condition your bond that you have no contact with Mr. Ferrer, that you all continue to maintain a separate residence from each other. Do you have any property at his residence?
No, sir.
All right. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You have this case that you're out on bond on in 2018 CF 10703AO. That you've been scheduling for sentencing for the past 3 years almost.
Yeah.
Your Honor, may we request to take no action as
Well, you don't represent her on that case. She has Mr. Michael McHillen, or is that his name?
Law.
Mitton Hall, yeah.
Your Honor, state would ask that you revoke. As you stated, she did plead guilty back in August of 2019. Sentencing has been set since December of 2019 and is yet to happen. I will send an email to the ASA in charge of that case.
All right, ma'am. In that case, the court is going to revoke your bond as to that case. The court is going to hold you at no bond until you get in front of Judge Barber to talk about that case. Mr. Ferrer, in your case, in 2021 MM2880AO, court is going to set your bond amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision that you have no contact with Ms. Bassoon, that you maintain a separate residence from her. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you as well in that case. You both have a great day. All right. I hit it too fast. Yeah, I hit it too fast. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Sweet.
Yes,
All right, this is Leslie Sweet you're here from Mr. Jackson?
yes, I am his lawyer on the violence case, and I am going to probably take his new case too.
All right, so are you representing him only on the violation, or are you representing him on both cases?
Right now, I am his lawyer on the violation.
Okay.
I have been his lawyer, and I've been waiting, I am his lawyer on the violation.
All right. All right.
I have been representing him for a long time on that case.
Okay. All right, so he was arrested in 2021 CF 4950AO on charge of kidnapping, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. Did find probable cause for his arrest. Want to hold him at no bond as to count 1 in that case. Want to set his bond in count 2 in the amount of $5,000. Condition of this bond that he not have any contact with the victim in that case, not return to her residence, do not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. As to the violation of probation in 2017 CF 15438, based on the on-view violation filed by the law enforcement officer, want to hold him in no bond. Sir, you qualify as a violent felony offender of special concern. The law does not allow you to be released on bail or bond until your violation of probation is completed and you have a danger hearing. So, Ms. Sweet, is there anything else you want to tell me? Talk to me?
No, I'm ready. I'm good.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a great week.
All right. So, Mr. Jackson, until you hire Ms. Sweet, because she's not on your case yet on the kidnapping case, I want to appoint the public defender until that happens, so you're not without counsel while it's pending. All right.
All right, I'm gonna hire her.
Yeah. You may not. That's a contract between you and Ms. Sweet. You may not be able to fulfill that contract. So otherwise, you may just sit in jail on this case because you don't have a lawyer. If I don't appoint an attorney to represent you.
Your Honor, I don't mind representing him on the new case, and I'll file a notice.
You're gonna represent him on a new case?
Yes, I'll file a notice.
All right. So I will. I'm not gonna appoint a public defender on a new case, and I'll put Ms. Sweet on as attorney of record on that case.
Okay.
All right. Everybody have a great weekend. Have a great weekend, Ms. Sweet.
You too, Your Honor. Bye-bye.
Can you tell me your name, sir?
Carlos Davis.
Mr. Davis, you're here in 2021 MM 2825AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I reviewed the charging affidavit. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth, ma'am. Hello.
Hey,
How are you? Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Tiana Ross, ROSS.
All right, just turn and face me. There we go. Say it again.
Tiana Ross, ROSS.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, ma'am. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Davis?
it's my boyfriend.
And do you want to have contact with Mr. Davis while this case is going on?
Yes,
No, correction, a judge signed a warrant, and that's who found probable cause. Apologize. Has anything like this happened in the past?
no, sir.
Can you?
No, sir.
If something like this were to happen in the future, would you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes, sir.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, sir.
Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Good, defense.
Good morning, ma'am. Do you have any children with Mr. Davis?
No, sir.
No more questions.
All right, Mr. Davis, I'm going to set your bond in this case in an amount of $1,000. The condition of your bond is that you have no hostile contact with the victim in this case. No hostile contact means this: you will allowed to have like disagreements with your girlfriend. All right. However, those disagreements cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. They cannot come to the point where she's going to call law enforcement, or somebody that sees or hears you all arguing is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, you will be arrested. You'll be spending the remainder of your time here with me at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that?
Sir.
You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir. Have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Can you tell me your name, sir?
Vincent Donez.
Mr. Donez, you're here in 2021 MM 2881AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $1,000. Condition of your bond is that you not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not have any contact with the victim in this case. You must maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement if you need it to retrieve any items that you have at a shared residence. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir. Here you go. Hello. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Sarah Gomez.
Ms. Gomez, you're here in 2021 MM 259AW on charge of battery dating violence. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Sir, can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
My name is Brian, Astacial.
Right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, put your hand down. Sir, can you tell me how you know Ms. Gomez?
My girlfriend.
Right. Are you afraid of her?
No.
Do you want to have contact with her?
Definitely.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
No.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No.
All right. If something like this were to happen in the future, do you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
It's not gonna happen.
Well,
It's not gonna happen.
how do you know it's not going to happen? You have a crystal ball? If so,
I just
how many you play the
definitely know,
lottery?
but I'll call the cops or anything, but it's not gonna happen.
Okay. So, all right, sir. All right, ma'am. I'm going to set your bond in this case at about $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision that you have no hostile contact with your boyfriend. No hostile contact means this. You're allowed to have disagreements with him. You're allowed to be upset with him because you feel like he's not paying you enough attention or anything like that that comes involved in a relationship you have with somebody else. However, those disagreements cannot turn threatening. They cannot turn violent. They cannot come to the point where either he's going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees or hears you while arguing is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, you will be arrested. You're spending the remaining of your time here with me at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
I can't hear you. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Is she gonna be releasing it?
She's posted bond. She can.
Okay. So I just gotta come with the bond and should be released.
This bond's $250, so you can pay it or get a bondsman.
No, I'll just pay it. Okay, thank you.
Have a great day. How you doing, ma'am? Can you tell me your name?
Belinda Johnson.
Ms. Johnson, you're here in two matters. The first one is 2021 MM 2884AO on charge of possession of cannabis. Did you take any action as to that case right now? Or get going?
No, Your Honor, I would assume it'll be consolidated with the battery DV.
All right.
What happened?
You have two cases. The state of Florida's have traditionally, since I took the bench in January, not been prosecuting on misdemeanor possessions of cannabis. I'm just telling you, so I asked the state whether they were doing that right now.
Oh, Lord.
And you're also here on charge in 2021 MM 2882AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did find probable cause in both cases. They both arrived from the same set of facts. As the 2021 MM 2884AO, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance as to that charge. I'm going to make a condition of release that you're not possessing drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. As the 2021 MM 2882AO, the court's going to set your bond in that case in the amount of amount of $500, condition of your bond, that you have no contact, that you also supervise our pretrial release in that case, that you have no contact with the victim in that case. You maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in both cases. You have a great day, man. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Evgeny Kolokin.
Sir, you're here in 2021 77 AE on charge of battery. Did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. Ma'am, hello. Good
Hi.
morning. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
It's Kimberly Kolokin, Kolodkin.
All right, cover your nose for me, please.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know the defendant?
He's my husband.
And do you want to have contact with your husband?
Yes, I do.
Are you afraid of him?
No, I'm not.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
Just arguments and we've handled it.
Well, anything like this happened in the
No,
past?
nothing. No.
Okay. Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Can you cover your nose for me?
Sorry.
No problem.
Your Honor, in the affidavit,
Yeah, I thought that's what it said.
there is an allegation of drinking and there was an allegation of domestic violence in the home in the past.
Right. All right, sir. In this case, I'm going to set your bond in the amount of $750. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision, that you have no contact with the victim in this case, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You will be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you 30 days before the first narcotics test happens, but the alcohol testing will happen immediately. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Sir, I'm not scared of him. I want him home with me.
That's fine. Have a great day, ma'am. All right, this is 2021 MM2883 AO. Mr. Morris, I'll reset him in 24 hours from his release. I'm going to appoint a public defender, release from the hospital. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent him in this case. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Robert Marshall.
Mr. Marshall, you're here in 2021 MM2889 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit in this case. It did find probable cause for your arrest. So I'm going to set your bond. Let me see, 1 second. Set your bond in this case amount of $250. Actually, sorry. I'll set your bond amount of $500. Condition your bond that you be subject to pretrial release supervision, that you have no contact with the victim in this case, that you maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you one-time return to any shared residence with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have there. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Your Honor, can I be heard on one of the issues?
What?
I believe the facts of that.
You got to speak into a microphone, or you got to speak up, because
I believe the affidavit includes information about them having 4 children, one with cerebral palsy.
Right.
And I don't know if the mother of the 4 children, if a no hostile contact order would be more appropriate
Well,
in case
he's
the,
not here to tell me, so,
State would object as there's no victim input here today.
correct. So I need some sworn testimony before I violate her Marcy's law rights.
I was just asking the court to consider the situation.
That's fine. Have a great day, sir. Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
Caitlin Morris.
Ms. Morris, you're here in 2021 MM 2874AO on charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Sir, can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
David Kinsey Adkison, KINSEY-ADKISON.
All right. Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Put your hand down. Sir, can you tell me how you know Ms. Morris?
My girlfriend?
And are you afraid of her?
No.
Do you want to have contact with her?
Yes.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
No, sir.
If something like this were to happen in the future, do you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes, sir.
Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
We had been drinking probably like 4 hours prior, but not during this, like when all the police came and all that.
Okay. All right, Ms. Morris, I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision that you have no hostile contact with the victim in this case. No hostile contact means this. You're allowed to have disagreements with him. You're allowed to be upset with him because he left the toilet seat up, didn't clean up a mess that he made and then left for you to clean, things like that. However, those disagreements cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. They cannot come to the point where he's going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees or hears you all arguing is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, you will be arrested. You're spending the remaining of your time here with me at the Orange County Jail. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're not possessing any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. So you don't qualify for the public defender. Let's see.
Are you gonna do RUA, Your Honor?
Not in this case, not based on her history.
Okay.
But if Ms. Morris drinks and this happens again, then we'll see you again. Save me $1,000 a week. Ma'am, do you have any dependents, children? Do you have any bills that you pay a month?
Rent and my car payment.
How much are your total bills a month?
800.
I don't think you still don't qualify. All right, man, it doesn't seem like you qualify for the services of the public defender. So you're going to hire your own attorney. All right, have a great day, man. Tell me your name, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Name.
Your name.
My name is Kevin Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, you're here in 2021 CT 437AE on charge of driving under the influence. Did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case at the amount of $1,000. Condition of your bond that you do not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You do not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You have a great day, sir.
Your Honor, can we be heard?
Your Honor.
We'd like to request release on own recognizance. According to the facts of the arrest affidavit, Mr. Anderson was found on a bike by the time the police got to him. The allegation is about biking as opposed to driving. He has no felony or misdemeanor convictions and would free up some space in the Orange County Jail.
Well, based
Your
on
Honor.
his criminal history and based on our state almost leading the country in pedestrian deaths, I think that's a reasonable bond to be set.
I'd point to his multiple VOPs as well as multiple DUI arrests, Your Honor.
Yep. All right, have a great day, sir. Yes, appointed public defender representative. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Luis Lombardi, sir.
Mr. Lombardi, here in 2013 CT 2062AO on a failure to appear warrant on an underlying charge of driving license suspended. The judge signed your warrant, set your bond amount of $2,000. State you have an offer that you conveyed to the defendant.
Yes, Your Honor. The offer that was conveyed, it was an adjudication credit time served.
Mr. Lombardi, you want to take that offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did the PDs, you guys already represent him in this case?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, we spoke with Mr. Lombardi earlier.
Back
and
in,
he
like,
wants to
back when you
resolve.
failed to appear, were you guys already on the case appointed?
No, I'm fine.
He was previously appointed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah,
We're
there we
previously
go.
appointed.
I just want to make sure, like, so we can get this done correctly. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you want to take the offer?
Yes, I spoke with Mr. Lombardi earlier, and we went over that certain rights will be waived if he enters this plea.
All right. And what plea do you want to enter on behalf of your client?
No contest, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Lombardi, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're here in 2013 CT 2062AO on a failure to appear, on an online charge of you're here on a charge of driver license suspended. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your attorney told me you want to enter a plea of no contest. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive certain rights that are listed on that plea form in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that a conviction at a later time can be used to enhance your sentencing up to a third-degree felony on driver license suspended?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, sir.
I did have an opportunity to review your court file while I was in chambers this morning with state and defense. Do you stipulate to a factual basis?
Yes, for the purposes of the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, find a factual basis for entering your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in this case of $306. There's a $50 public defender application fee and a $50 public defender lien. All those costs will be payable to the clerk from 2 years from today's date. You got 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Have a great day, sir. Tell me your name, sir.
Good morning. My name is John Reyes Figueroa.
All right. Mr. Figueroa, you're here in 2021 CT 298AW and 2021 CT 901AO on failure to appear warrants. The judge in those cases set your bond amount $2,000.
Your Honor, I conveyed an offer on both of those cases as well as his out on bond case. All of them are an adjudication, credit time served, and a $100
Yeah.
fine.
This is Mr. Reyes. I remember Mr. Reyes because we had this conversation with him about, he was telling me he's gonna get this handled by the end of the week, I think he told me at the time.
Yes, Your Honor. I believe one case is from January, one is from February, and one is from March.
So when I said we saw him at the end of March.
Your Honor, the notes, my client stated he does have a motorcycle license. The notes that I saw in the system stated that he was in the process of actually getting it. There was proof that he had completed the basic course that was required. And I don't have proof any of it right now, but it states that he did actually get it. He just,
Right.
dismissed court, Your Honor.
I think
One second, Your Honor, I'm checking his
CR
license
has-
right now.
access to David. I don't have, my David is in my office, so I don't have it right now.
Check.
All right, so Ms. Reyes, step back so I can keep rolling.
Okay, yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Someone's gonna knock it all over. What I'm trying to do. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name? Sir, you're here in 2021 MM2891AO on a charge of petty theft and disorderly conduct. I reviewed the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. State, is this something you're gonna resolve today?
No, Your Honor, it's enhanceable.
All right, sir, I'm gonna set your bond. I'll say your bond at count one, amount of $500, count two, $100. Condition of your bond that you do not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Not return to the scene of this location. You're not not have any contact with any victims or witnesses from this case. Want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Your Honor, you stayed the bonds in that case?
Yes, ma'am. All right, are you taking action on this next case before I get rolling?
No, Your Honor, this case was filed on 4/16 as a petty theft 2 prior.
No, this is, Mr. Lemon.
Oh,
Was possession of drug paraphernalia, that's one.
Your Honor, I'll file no information.
All right, I'll release Mr. Lemon in 2021 MM2875AO on his own recognizance. All right, let me take a look at Mr. Reyes here. He has a registered bike.
Your Honor, if you want to recall Mr. Reyes Figueroa, I have more information.
Yeah, I'm looking at his daily history right now.
I pulled the driver license check. He does not have a motorcycle endorsement on record.
Correct. Which is strange, because I don't know how the DMV allows you to register motorcycles without, it'd be kind of counterintuitive. You can own one, but you can't drive it. That literally makes almost no sense. Yes, ma'am. All right, so Mr. Reyes, I'm looking at your daily history. You don't have any endorsements right now. But we're only here for the failure to appear from those two cases, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes, 2 new cases on failures to appear and an out on bond.
Yeah, so these all, I think, in front of Judge Jewett, all the cases, he failed to appear in these 2 cases. So the bonds are $2,000 on each of his failures to appear.
I'm gonna see if he wants to resolve or just wait. Yes, Your Honor. He wants.
Approve
He
myself.
said he has it, we would just ask that you leave the bonds as set, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so Reyes, you actually gotta go and get your picture taken and everything like that, so.
He thinks that because he took the basic course, that was all he needed to, and I was explaining you have to actually physically go back.
Yep, you gotta show that to the DMV.
Your Honor, you're going to take no action on the out
I'm
on
not taking
bond?
action on the bond
I
case.
have to go to DMV and I have an appointment in 2 weeks and a half for that.
All right, well,
The 20th, I have an appointment.
as long as you don't ride your motorcycle.
No, I sold it
scooter.
too. I have proof that I sold the motorcycle and everything.
All right, well, you need to tell the DMV that too, because it's still gotta register it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Tell me anything, sir?
Lamont Williams.
Mr. Williams, you're here in 2021 MM2178AO on charge of petty theft. They reviewed the charge, I think this is a warrant case. The judge signed your warrant. In this case, has already found probable cause for your arrest.
Your Honor, this is the case that we filed an information on 4/16, and we filed as a petty theft 2 prior, case number 21 CF 4618.
All right. Yep, it was transferred, I see it, 2021 CF 4618. You're also you're here on petty theft, two prior theft convictions. Going to set your bond, in this case, an amount of $3,000. Condition of your bond that you have no contact with the victim, or any witnesses, no return to the scene, to the location. You're on probation in Seminole County for the same offense. The state, you asking me to take any action on that case? See that, okay.
No, Your Honor.
All right, and these offenses come from February 10th of this year. All right, on point of public defender represent you, sir. Have a great day. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Brenda Lee Ward Beauvais.
Miss Ward Beauvais, you're here in 1986 MO 9354 on a violation of probation.
Sir, I was not aware of it. Okay.
Oh, wait a second. State, you got anything from 1986 you want to tell me about?
Your Honor, I believe if this file still exists, it would be in a closed file room, so I have no information in case management regarding this.
Were you intending to proceed in prosecution on this case?
To my knowledge, Your Honor, currently, yes.
All right, Ms. Ward, let me check the charging affidavit. Are you at this Reflection Drive address?
No, sir, I haven't been there for 36 years.
All right.
34.
I'm going to do this. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you. I'm going to release you in your own recognizance with this condition that you need to file an updated address.
Yes, sir.
With the clerks before you leave the jail today.
Yes, sir.
All right? Can you put your address on the record so we can?
Yes, sir.
Just tell me what the address is.
Oh. 3259 South Michigan, Homosassa, Florida, 34441.
Yeah. Dexter. Yes. Thank you. All right, man. Fill that out, and we'll get to you when we can get you on your way.
Muktari.
All right.
Yusef Bundit.
Yep. Can you tell me your name, sir? Mr. Atkins. Can I get Mr. Can I get Mr. Pringle as well? Yes, please. We're doing Atkins and Mr. Pringle. Um,
21010105.
Am I saying his wrong name wrong? Pringle, I'm good, maybe? Or Pringle? Jarvis Pringle? Yeah, what's that? I may not been saying it properly. No, P, yeah, Pring, pa. Man, drink some water, that's what it is. You soak the vocal cords. Do we have them now, or we gotta bring them? And say you want to find attempted tampering on, or attempted destruction of evidence. Well, I'm guessing it's for the gun
was
being
found
thrown
in
out the
the
window. Huh? All right, there we go. All right, tell me your name, sir. Mr. Atkins, you're here in 2021 CF 4954AO. You're arrested on a warrant for sale or delivery of cannabis for consideration. You're also arrested on an affidavit that I reviewed in 2021 CF 4938AO for destruction of evidence, trafficking in 4 grams or more of a controlled substance, and possession of a synthetic cannabis. Tell me your name, sir.
Jarvis Quinton Pringle.
Mr. Pringle, you're here in 2021 CF 4935AO on that same affidavit for trafficking in MDMA or ecstasy in 10 grams or more with a weapon, possession of synthetic cannabis, was trafficking in a controlled substance of 4 grams or more, possession of cannabis with a weapon, destruction of evidence, and carrying a concealed firearm. Now, as to count 1, as to Mr. Atkins, and as to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of Mr. Pringle's case, I want to find probable cause for attempted tampering or attempted destruction of evidence. I think it's still 77.04, something like that.
Yeah, it would be the normal destruction of evidence statute and then the 77704 for the
Right.
attempt.
All right, as to all of the charges, I did find probable cause for your arrest. As to Mr. Atkins, as in 2021 CF 4954AO, I want to set your bond in that case in the amount of $10,000. Condition that bond that you not possess any drugs or alcohol by a valid prescription. That you not have any contact with Mr. Pringle, who is standing to your left. As in 2021 CF 4938AO, I wanted to set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $500. Count 2, I want to stay your bond in the amount of $100,000. Count 3, I believe your bond is, count 3, I'm going to set your bond in the amount of $500. Condition of your bond, that you not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You not have any contact with Mr. Pringle, who's standing to your left. You not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. As well, whoever's going to be posting your bond needs to file an affidavit with the court, complying with Florida Statute 903.046, sub 2, sub F, and that the money that is used to post your bond is not derived from any other criminal enterprise, including the one that you were arrested for in this case. Mr. Pringle, as to count 1, state what are you asking me to do as to that count?
Your Honor, state's asking that you hold no bond pending an Arthur hearing.
Mr. Pringle, I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in that case. Ms. George, what do you say as to count 1 in Mr. Pringle's case?
Your Honor, I ask that you set a reasonable bond. It's a nonviolent offense. So I ask that you set a bond in this case.
Well, it's a life offense.
It is a life offense. However, I'm still asking that you set a bond, Your Honor.
Are you asking me that I find proof evident presumption great in this case? Or are you just asking me to set a bond?
No, I'm just asking you to set a bond, Your Honor, using your discretion to set a bond.
All right, Mr. Pringle, I'm not going to take you away from having a full-blown bond hearing later on. But I'm not going to set any bond as to count 1 in that case. I'm going to hold you a no bond. As to count 2, as the remaining of your counts are going to stay your bond, other than count 1, 2, 3, 4. Count 5, I'm going to set your bond at 500. All your other bonds remain stayed. Condition of your bonds, you not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. That you have no contact with Mr. Atkins, who's standing to your right. That you do not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to make a condition that whoever sets your bond or pays your bond or posts your bail comply with Florida Statute 903.046, sub 2, sub F, and that the money that file an affidavit with the court, that the money that is used to post that bond is not derived from any other criminal enterprise, including the one that you were arrested for.
Your Honor, on my affidavit for count 4 for Mr. Pringle,
Yes, sir.
I know
There's
you
no
stayed
bond?
the bond. I have it currently as no bond.
That's correct. That's correct. I do got to give him a bond as to the account.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I'm going to set your bond in that case in the amount of $5,000. That's the possession of cannabis with a weapon. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you both in your cases. One of you is going to get regional conflict, while somebody's going to get a public defender. They'll decide who's that's going to happen, all right? I got you.
And this is for the attempted, or that's for the?
No, that's for the, yes, for the money. Statute is 7704. 77 point, yeah, 04. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name? I can't hear you. Mr. Baker, you're here in 2021 CF 4939AO on a charge of driving while license suspended as a habitual traffic offender. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to stay your bond in this case amount of $2,500. Condition of your bond is you not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir. Tell me your name, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Oh, Jakira Campbell.
Ms. Campbell, you're here in 2021 CF 3637AO on a charge of aggravated battery on a pregnant person and criminal mischief. I did review, the judge signed your warrant, did find probable cause for your arrest. Let's see. Sorry, hold on a second.
When was this warrant issued? Because I'm not aware of it.
It was, I think, in March of this year.
But I never got it. Like,
Well, you wouldn't have got it until you were arrested.
no, I'm talking about, like, I never got a court date or nothing.
Well, it wasn't for missing a court date. This is a new case where the judge issued a warrant for a crime that you committed, that allegedly committed earlier this year. All right, I want to set your bond in count one amount of $1,000, count two $100. Condition of your bond, I'm going to strike the no hostile contact and enter a no contact order with any victims or witnesses from this case. You not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release.
Yeah, I already have a no contact order on her. Like, I just did a warrant.
Yep. And yeah, let me see, this is,
This one was weird, Your Honor. I didn't.
1 second. This battery case, was this some kind of non-arrest case or summons case that never got served or something? Is this open, like she's not on bond? It's an open battery case?
Yes, Your Honor, came in as a non-arrest.
Okay. And
Came in
then,
as the throwing a deadly missile at a person in battery, and we filed battery and assault.
okay, so the bonds are actually attached to the felony case, not it's
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor, came in as a
I got you.
felony non-arrest.
All right, I think I looked this up, but I didn't look at the offense date before Judge Alvaro signed the warrant on the affidavit.
The offense date on the 20MM 936.
No, on the, yep, on that, yep, the 2020 mm case.
21.
Yeah, like, I already got arrested. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know that. I'm trying to figure, no, the offense date on the new case, 2021 CF 3637AO, was that while she was out on bond? Because it was a non-arrest case that you guys filed. So I wanted to make sure that I take the appropriate action.
Okay, so you're looking for the offense date on which one?
On the new case,
Oh,
there's a charging affidavit in there. I just forgot to notate the offense date of the new case.
yes, Your Honor, I was looking at the other case.
January 11th is of the new case?
That's what I had, Your Honor, January 11th.
I'm trying to pull the information, Your Honor, but
Are you looking at the affidavit, the arrest affidavit? All right. All right, so ma'am, I'm not gonna take any action on your out on bond cases in 2021 CF 219 AO and 2020 936 AW.
All right, okay, you my people?
All right, then I had Castro bonded.
Yes, Your Honor. He bonded.
All right. All right, let me so I can get the scanned. There we go. This is Maximilian Claver, 2020 CF 4325 AO, 2019 CF 3331, and 2018 CF 15569. I think he already has a public defender in all those cases.
Yes, Your Honor, we'll waive his appearance.
All right, let's reset him 24 hours from his release from the hospital.
I was gonna waive his appearance, Your Honor, only because he was found incompetent, in his other cases.
Yes.
So I didn't know if we needed to see him since he said at no bond, and we're already in the process of getting him a hearing.
What do you mean?
For the failures to appear,
Yeah.
we have to reset him, or can we just waive?
We could waive.
I'm just
It's up to
willing to
you.
waive.
I mean-
I'm willing to waive.
All right, we'll waive him. We're not gonna reset him. Just, we'll get him for the next court dates. No, yeah, no, they're not taking any action on the out on bond cases.
And there's no bond on all three cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
No, no bond. Can you tell me your name, sir?
My name's Jarvis Brandon Clayton, sir.
Mr. Clayton, you're here in 2021 CF 4919 AO on charge of possession of heroin and possession of cocaine. You're also here in 2021 CF 4944 AO on charge of possession of opiates. You reviewed the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest.
But, can I?
Oh, sorry, there's a warrant, sorry. There's warrants for your arrest, I'm sorry. Filing child arrest. And 4919 is a warrant for your arrest. And
About all that. I wanna know
One
what
second.
happened, how I get the possession charges. And, yes, and
all right, and then 49, sorry, I reviewed the charging affidavit at 4944. There we go.
Your Honor, I want to ask you too, also, right, on this case that I've been arrested for with the warrant. I was in the hospital, I OD'd, and they said they got drugs off me, but they ain't never get drugs off me. But they charged me with possession of cocaine, possession of heroin or whatever, but the officer ain't let me know when I got to the hospital that I was charged with it. Last night I get put on my bicycle, I got a warrant. I'm already on 2 bonds, Your Honor. I'm trying to stay out there with my family. They need me, and I need to be out there with them. You know, I messed up. I went to the hospital, then they took me to detox. I stayed in detox for like 6 days, and I got out Tuesday, and I go to jail Wednesday night for this. And
Yeah, that's the warrant case,
Yeah.
Mr. Clayton. And then now, but when they arrested you on the warrant case. I mean, I understand, I mean,
Understand? Correct. I
I'm
understand.
not, I can't disturb the probable cause determination as to the warrant case, but then,
That's what we're talking about. But I'm confessing about what happened.
yeah, so that, you may have a defense as to that case, but then, I don't know if this is fentanyl or not, it looks like it. And your possession of opiates case that you picked up when they're arresting you for the warrant. And then you're out on bond possession of amphetamine case, and you're out on bond on a petty theft case.
Yes, sir. And I go to court for the petty theft May 11th, and the trial began on May 24th.
Right. All right, petty theft 2 prior, I'm sorry. All right. All right, Mr. Clayton, I'm gonna stay your bond on your warrant. I think it's at 1,150. Stay your bond on 2021 CF 4944 AO. amount of $1,000. Condition of both those bonds that you not possess any drugs or alcohol by a valid prescription. You're out on bond in 2021 CF 2140AO. You're out on bond in 2020 CF 4784AO. And those bonds, we're going to take or revoke those bonds. We'll set new bonds at $0 in those cases. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in your new cases. You have a great day, sir. All right, this is 2021 CF 4957AO. Mr. Fennell, I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent him.
We'll waive his appearance, Your Honor. PTR just got cut off. He has an injunction. Does it involve the same, the victim? Because it's just kind of got, my page got cut off there. All right, Mr. Fennell, I want to say his bond in count one amount $2,500, count two, $500. Conditions that he had no contact with the victim in this case, that he not return to the scene of the location. He may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms he has need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. That he abide by the injunction in 2018 DR 11806 AO.
It was a different victim, Your Honor.
Or any other injunction in place on him. He also not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. We already appointed the public defender to represent him. All right, tell me your name, sir.
Ryland Foster.
Mr. Foster, you're here in 2021 CF 4917 AO on charge of possession of fentanyl and possession of drug paraphernalia. I reviewed the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest.
Your Honor, I would ask for a ROR. He served in the military, and it shows he has no criminal history.
Okay, wait a second. Sorry, there was a warrant for your arrest. I apologize. The judge already found probable cause for your arrest. Mr. Foster, have you visited the people at the VA?
No.
About this?
No.
Haven't talked to anybody over there about this?
At the VA now.
All right. One question. Are you still at the 1121 Maybrook Street?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, sir. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance as to this case. Condition of your release that you're not possessing any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I suggest you may want to you can get over to Lake Nona and talk to the people at the domicile area over there if you're having some issues with drug abuse, all right?
All right, thank you.
Have a great day. Tell me names, sir.
Timothy Gomez Bowser.
So you're here in 2020 CF 4558BO on charge of burglary of a dwelling. Judge signing a warrant in this case has already found probable cause, set your bond amount of $5,000. Condition your bond, you have no contact with any victims or witnesses or co-defendants. They do not return to the scene of the location. You also have some Seminole County warrants in 2021 CF 43B. In 2 counts, the judge set your bond amount of $8,000 each count. Yes, PTR jail. Was he already seen on the other warrant from Seminole County? You already bonded on the, okay, for those, for 2020, 1089? Okay.
You're not addressing that case.
No, I'm not addressing that case. I was just confused. I got one. I got teletype with.
Yeah, they gave us affidavits on both.
Okay.
So we're just addressing one Seminole County case.
Right.
Okay.
All right, because he already posted bond on another case.
So just the one with the $2,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, tell me your name, sir.
Eugene Guillaume.
Mr. Guillaume, you're here in 2020 CF 6474AO on a failure to appear. Judge signed your warrant, set your bond at $0. I think the public defender already represents you in this case. Have a great day, sir.
My failure to appear, I can't get a bond because I was.
You can file a motion from your division judge. You talk to them, they can give you a bond hearing, and you talk to you about, whether there's any release conditions that they feel comfortable releasing you on.
No bond right now?
Not right now, no bond. How about we take a 15-minute recess? We're gonna be back at, a little bit short of 15 minutes. Let's say, a little bit longer than 15, let's say 12:35.
Yeah.
Go back on the record, state, put your names on the record.
Taylor May on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Letitia George on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
All right, we're out of our recess. Sir, tell me your name.
Jeremy Harris.
Mr. Harris, you're here in 2020 CF 9220AO on a failure to appear warrant. The judge signing your warrant says your bond is $0. I believe you're already appointed the public defender in this case. You have a great day, sir.
When is the next time I go to court, sir?
When was the next time you're going to court?
Yes, sir.
Do you guys already have a court date for him?
If you give me a minute.
Well, you'll be in your paperwork, because I have 50 more people to talk to this afternoon, so we'll be on your paperwork when you get it, when you get to your cell. All right, have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Craig.
Well, good afternoon now, sorry. Tell me your name. Sorry, good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Craig Hinshaw, good afternoon.
I apologize, sir. Sir, you're here in 2020 CF 4118AO for violation of probation. Judge signing a warrant in this case set your bond at $0. Does anybody know why this was in my warrant section?
No idea.
Excuse me, Your Honor, can I talk?
About
Okay, Your Honor, he would like to speak to you.
yes, sir.
I'm going through a DCF case, a home study. I'm trying to get back from my son. I got literally on the 10th, I have to do the home study. I've been sitting in Seminole County for 8 days on a hold to try to come over here.
Okay.
I was asking if it would be able to give me a bond until I see my lawyer. Not my lawyer, but my judge.
Mm-hmm.
And I will definitely come over here and see that. But I have to. I don't want to lose everything that I'm working for right now. Your Honor.
All right, well, I think you need to talk to, are you represented by Regional Conflict Counsel in your dependency case? I'm asking you, do you have a lawyer in your dependency case?
Yes, yes.
All right, you need to call them, let them know what's going on.
Yes, Your Honor.
I can't not feel comfortable releasing you on the underlying charge in this case without speaking to the victim in that case.
The victim, sir?
It says the underlying charge is domestic violence. You're not reading the underlying charge of your violation. That's what you're on probation for, right?
It was a tech, but it was.
Okay, I'll talk about your case. The
victim.
Without talking to the victim has certain rights guaranteed by our Constitution. Without speaking to them, which is one of them, they had to give me input on your release, even on violations of probation. So we'll get you in front of your division judge. You need to speak to your public defender. I'm appointing them to represent you. Work with them diligently to get you in front of the division judge to get a bond hearing. All right? Where the victim can be notified and we can have that discussion, all right?
Yes, Your Honor. By the way, Your Honor, the
Yes, sir.
victim is at the she was supposed to be here, but she can't be in the area.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that can happen at the courthouse, so hopefully she can show up at the courthouse. All right, have a great day. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Vanilla Design.
Sorry. Say it one more time.
Vanilla Design.
Ma'am, you're here 2020 CF 7733AO on charge of grand theft of $20,000 or more. Hey, can you tell me, was this from an individual or business? Like, I didn't.
Yes, Your Honor, 1 second. Your Honor, it was a fraudulent check kind of situation, opening false bank accounts and depositing false checks.
Okay.
So it's technically a victim, but technically the bank is the victim.
Okay, because one of the conditions on the bond was no contact with the victim.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to release you on pretrial release in this case. Condition your pretrial release, but you not return to the scene of the location. You not possess any personal identification of anybody else except yourself. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case.
Yes.
You have a great day, ma'am.
Ready?
I have Jones. Who's,
Nicolau.
you know Nikolai now, or?
Now?
Okay. Oh, so, all right, there you go. Hold on. That's Miller. All right. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Justin Paul Nikolai.
Mr. Nikolai and Counsel, who's your?
Good day, Judge. My name is Robert Power. I am not here on this case. I'm here on the previous case.
Which case, the previous case?
He has another charge that is
Okay.
pending and going through Judge Bleckman's.
The child
division.
abuse case?
I'm sorry?
The child abuse case I'm asking?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
That's
there we go.
exactly what I'm here for.
Your
All
Honor,
right.
we filed a new information of aggravated child abuse and neglect of a child and child abuse on that case.
There are 3 counts?
Yes. An F1 aggravated child abuse, an F3 neglect of a child, and an F3 child abuse.
Your Honor, I can discuss that after you've done what he's here for, which is his
Okay,
first
all right.
appearance.
All right. Mr. Nikolai, you're here in 2021 CF 4932AO on charges of possession of cocaine and possession of cannabis. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to stay your bonds in this case in amount of $1,000 and $100. Condition your bonds do not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. All right, Mr. Power, what do you want to tell me as to the 2020 CF 10638AO case?
I just recently, we got a continuance in that case. Judge Bleckman is expecting the next time that we appear to go to trial. I need my client available to me for 2 reasons. As you know, with these child abuse cases, there are dependency proceedings that are also proceeding.
Correct.
And there is a schedule of parenting classes and things that he has up to this moment, irrespective of last night, been very attentive of taking. If you at this time would consider, or if the state would request a revocation of his previous bond, and I did explain to him that the dignity of the court needs to be enforced. When they say no other crimes, they mean it. It would seriously disrupt the schedule of trying to get these kids back, and also for purposes of preparation.
Mr.
I
Power,
let you know that, Judge. I understand that there's protocols and stuff, and I have not heard the state's position. But if we would just let that division decide whether to revoke it as opposed to automatically doing so today, that would be my request today.
all right. See, I don't have any information about the underlying offense. Did it involve narcotics?
Your Honor, the underlying case, what I have, I don't believe it involved narcotics. I believe it involved, there are charges between Mr. Nikolai and his wife, the child's stepmom in question, the victim in the case, regarding a video being posted on Facebook regarding the child sleeping outdoors with no clothes and derogatory comments made towards the child. And putting a knife to the child's chest.
I can fill in the court if you
Yeah,
need the
I'm just trying to-
underlying facts. I'm happy to discuss those.
Well, I'm trying to determine whether the child abuse was related to.
There is video of a rather ferocious whack that he gave his daughter, and that we are challenging as to whether that is aggravated assault. Then the knife and the kid, that was the kids doing it, and that's why he was so mad about that. Why were you using a knife against your little brother and stuff like that? And then the other child abuse is this business of the young lady being found and recorded on phone, sleeping outside, almost naked. She had like a towel on her, on the steps. All of that is being vigorously challenged, but those are the allegations. The aggravated comes from what looks on video like a ferocious whack, and then the rest of it is just neglect, and then this business of her not being fully clothed and being outside. That needs to be sorted out. Again, he is taking parenting classes, but that's the extent of it. There's no sexual misconduct. There's none of this other stuff. It's just physical violence against his daughters, no other children. And he's got 7 kids that he's trying to get back.
Your Honor, I believe defense counsel's recitation is correct per the notes that I have and the synopsis I have within our system.
All right, so what are you asking me to do as to his bond conditions? And
Your Honor, as I told counsel when he got here, if you were inclined to revoke, he could set a hearing in the trial court to have bond reinstated if the trial judge deemed it reasonable, knowing more about the case. I do see there was a motion to modify bond back in 2020, so the bonds were changed. So at this time, State would ask that you revoke, but you set higher bonds on these charges.
all right,
Let me explain
What do
that.
you-
What happened was that after the state got into the case, and also after they had bonded out on initial appearance, the state came back and requested that the bond be increased, and Judge Blackman granted that. Judge Adams at the time. It granted the increase, and it was by law allowed. So they've done that, and they've bonded out. I think the main issue, Judge, is A, whether you want to take the lead and opt to revoke bond just on the general principle that the dignity of the court has been offended. You knew very well that you needed to keep your nose clean. You didn't. These are the repercussions. What I'm asking is for the actual judge, Judge Blackman, to make that decision, because the state, once they hear about this, may make that
Mr.
motion.
Power, what's the more disruptive thing for me to do then, if that's your argument? Wouldn't it make more sense for me to revoke the bond now, and then you see Judge Blackman on Monday or Tuesday? Or, because otherwise, he can bond out, and then he may be right back in jail next week.
Right, but that's what we want. We want to let the court where he is before, who gave him these instructions and gave him the bond, to make that decision on a state's motion rather than automatically. I mean, I thought we were trying generally to keep people out of jail as long as we could if it was rationally possible. I think that is a way to fix it. On a personal note, unfortunately, this is crazy to even mention, but I'm not going to be here next week. If he goes in, he's going to stay in a lot longer, and he's going to miss a lot more parenting classes than I would have hoped that he does. So what I'm asking, Judge, is for you to pass this on to Judge Blackman, and if the state at that time is offended and wants to have Judge Blackman enforce the dignity of that courtroom and what was requested, that be done. If not, I've explained to my client that this was very, very foolish.
Mr. Power, it's like you may need to talk to somebody about covering or helping you out with his case. As a 2020 CF 10638 AO, if the court finding probable cause that a new law offense has been committed, it's going to revoke your bond in that case. It's going to set a new bond at $0 in that case. You have Mr. Power already appointed to represent you in that case. As to the other case, I'll appoint a public defender to represent you. So you have counsel in both cases, and we'll get you to see Judge Blackman hopefully next week.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, have a great day.
When you're at the beach and you see the wave.
Okay, tell me your name, sir. Cover your face, there you go.
Travis Jones.
Mr. Jones, you're here in 2021 CF 51 AO on charge of fleeing attempt to elude law enforcement. The judge signed your warrant. In this case, has already found probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in that case in the amount of $3,000, conditional your bond that you not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You're out on bond in 2021 CF 3976 AO for a charge of aggravated fleeing and attempt to elude law enforcement. Want to revoke that bond. Want to set a new bond at $0 in that case. Want to appoint a public defender to represent you in both cases if you're not already appointed.
Your Honor,
Ms. George, go ahead.
I believe, unless I'm reading it wrong, I thought he wasn't arrested on the out on bond until the 22nd of April. And it seems that this incident occurred on the 15th.
I'm sorry, you are correct. You're correct. I'm not gonna take any action on your out on bond case. I'll appoint a public defender to represent you in your new case. Have a great day, sir. This is 2021 CF 4952 AO. Mr. Brandon Knox, I'm gonna appoint a public defender to represent him.
I'll waive his appearance, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Knox is here, the court, here for a charge of driver license suspended as habitual traffic offender. Viewed the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for his arrest. State his bond amount of $2,500. Condition of his bond that he not operate a motor vehicle while a valid driver's license. He also has an out-of-county, Hillsborough County warrant in 2020 CT 12516. In that case, the judge set his bond at $0. His bond will remain at $0 on that case. I want to appoint a public defender to represent him in both cases. Tell me your name, man.
Leslie Marlowe.
Ms. Marlowe, you're here in 2018 CF 17966 AO on a failure to appear warrant. The judge signing your warrant in this case to set your bond amount of $1,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2, and $100 on count 3. Condition of your bond is that you have no contact with any victims or witnesses from this case. You're not returned to the scene of the location where this incident happened. You're not engaged in any secondhand pawn transactions and no pawn shops. You may not enter any pawn shops. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case if they're not already appointed. You have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Tell me your name, ma'am.
Sarah McLeod.
Ms. McLeod, you're here in 2020 CF 11804 AO on a failure to appear warrant. The judge signed your warrant, set your bond at $0. I think you're already represented by the public defender's office in that case. You have a great day, ma'am. Tell me your name, sir.
Xavier.
What's your full name?
Xavier Melendez Martinez.
Sir, you're here in 2021 CF 4924 AO on a charge of grand theft motor vehicle. You reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Let's say your bond in that case amount of $5,000, condition your bond that you not have any contact with any victims or witnesses, and you not return to the scene of the location where the theft happened. Has he already been seen on these warrants, on the VOP stuff? He's already been seen on that? Okay. All right, sir, I'm appointing the public defender to represent you in this case. Have a great day. Tell me your name, sir.
Casey Kyle Miller.
Yep, you want to give him a call? Oh. All right, you hired Mr. Dro to represent you?
Hired, Lee Durrell.
All right, step back. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Daniel Miller.
Mr. Miller, you're here in 2020 CF 136 37 AO on a failure to appear warrant. The judge in that case set your bonds in amount of $5,000 on each count. Condition of your, sorry, 5,000 on count 1 and 500 on count 2. Condition of your bond that you do not have any contact with any victims or witnesses from this case, that you not return to the scene of this theft, that you not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you 30 days before the first narcotics test happens. Have a great, well, I'm appointed public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir.
Without PTR, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Registry. All right, Mr. Registry, in 2000, I'm appointed, I think it's the public defender already appointed in 2019, CF 7241AO.
No, Judge. I'll waive his appearance, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him. It's actually a violation of probation, but I'll say his bond is $0. Zero. Yes, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Fabian Warren Rizzi.
Sir, you're here in 2021 CF 3516, A on charge of grand theft, or of grand theft. One second. All right, the judge signing your warrant. This case is already found probable cause for your arrest. Let's say, stay your bond amount of $2,500. Condition of your bond not return to any Home Depot. Have no contact with any victims or witnesses. No secondhand pawn transactions. You may not enter any pawn shops while you're out on release in that case. Want to appoint the public defender to represent you in that case. You're also here in 2021 CF 4023 AO on a charge of failure to appear. In that case, the court is going to state a bond in amount of $0.
Your Honor,
Want to appoint a public defender to represent you if you don't already qualify?
Your
Yes,
Honor,
ma'am.
in this particular case, I know in the FTA, the issue is that it was an arraignment. Our office told him he did not have to appear. We waived his appearance. However, the judge still issued the warrant for a failure to appear.
Yeah.
We would just ask that you take that into consideration. It wasn't our client's fault. The attorney assigned did tell him he did not have to appear in court.
Who's the judge?
Blackman, Your Honor.
All right, well, I think it's just gonna be a matter of course at this point. No, I mean, because sir, you're out on probation, Osceola County case, 2020, CF 522. In that case, the court's gonna find an on-view violation based on the warrant signed in 2021, CF 3516 AO. Gonna hold you at no bond as to that case.
Your Honor, I have him failing to appear twice on the 4023 case.
At this point, Your Honor.
Yeah, you can talk to Judge Blackman about it. That was an error that could be corrected anyways. He's on probation for fleeing, attempt to elude law enforcement, driver license suspended, another grand theft in Osceola County. And he's picked up, what I can tell, 2 more theft-related charges since then.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm appointed public defender to represent him in all those cases. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, he's stating this before he was put on probation.
These are all before my probation, Your
I don't
Honor.
have that
I
information.
haven't been in no trouble. I've taken my courses, my
Wait.
classes.
I'll tell you. 1 second. Let me get.
I make my payments. I work. I got my son.
Yeah, oh, sorry, hold on. All right. So you are correct. I'm sorry. So I can't take any action on because this is from, I thought it said 4, but it's July of last year, 2 years ago. So I'm not taking action on his probation case. As a Judge Blackman, for Judge Blackman, we can get you in front of him. You guys already filed a bond motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you want to hear it now, or you want to have Judge Blackman hear it?
They filed a motion to have it heard, I think, before Judge Blackman. I just didn't know if you would be willing to do anything
All right,
here
we got to put on some evidence other than your client just talking to me.
Your Honor, given his history, I would just ask that Judge Blackman hear it, since he's the trial judge on this case.
What are the facts alleged in the motion is what Ms. George had a recitation of?
I believe there was no objection with your office. I just need to double check.
It was filed on the 4023 case?
Yeah, 4023.
I have a motion to set bond, that you filed yesterday.
Motion to set bond.
I don't have any notes regarding the ASA's position.
Or is it? We get information first, then we can talk.
The notes that are in our system states that they did speak with the ASA assigned and they had no objection to bond being set.
Your Honor, in the PD who was assigned to this case, and her motion to withdraw the KPS on the 4023 case, alleged in her motion, it says that the ASA assigned has no objection. However, I have no notes to that effect.
All right, and then Judge Blackman denied your motion. I got an order denying that motion to withdraw.
Oh, I didn't see that, Your Honor.
Or no, I'm
Okay.
saying to set bond. He signed it today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So that answers all of our questions. So you gotta talk to Judge Blackman about whatever happened, because he's effectively telling me not to do anything with your case, all right? Because he controls that. All right, have a great day, sir. All right, do we get attorney on record? Good afternoon. Can you tell me your name?
Casey Kyle Miller.
How you doing today, Judge Payne?
All right, and tell me your name, sir.
Casey Kyle Miller.
All right, Mr. Miller, you're here for a violation of probation in 2019 CF 13692AO, as well as 2020 CT 3942AO.
Yeah, we did them already.
Be the warrants in those cases, the judge set your bond at $0. Oh, in the misdemeanor case is $0. As to the felony cases, the violation of probation and failure to appear is $5,000. Am I correct? Did I read that right?
Maybe my second.
I have 2020 CT 3942AO, 0 bond. I have 2019 CF 13692. I thought it said 5,000. Let me check. 1,000? 1,000? Let me check, make sure, because that said none. Said 5,000 on that. So the only thing I have is this. That's it. PTR, is it 5,000 or 1,000? It's 5,000, right? That's to the felony case? While we're doing that, Mr. Joe, do you have anything you want to tell me before?
Your Honor, what happened is he was put on probation on March. He was on probation on a felony case, but it had been reduced to a second-degree misdemeanor. We were to resolve that case, the dismissal, upon him completing his community service hours. He was then put on probation for the DUI here in front of Judge Fay Allen on the 23rd of March. On the 25th of March, he was arrested in Seminole County on an old warrant that he wasn't on probation when it was entered, but he was also arrested for driving on a suspended license. And Seminole County does what a lot of counties do not do, but they do it, which is they have these instanter VOP findings. So he was arrested. His parents had posted the bond on the driving while license suspended and the old warrant, which got him transferred back here to Orange County. Judge Fay Allen gave him no bond. I have already filed a motion to get a bond now.
Mr. Joe, can you tell me what happened with the felony case? Because he already posted a bond in the felony cases? That's what I'm trying to figure out what this paperwork you're showing me here.
No, the bond, if there's a bond on the felony case, that is recent, okay? I did receive no paperwork on that. Now, that was probably, I'm imagining,
Okay, there.
supposed to go back to show he had completed his community service hours, but he was incarcerated.
All right. Well, it looks like he has two bonds, I think maybe for a violation of probation and a failure to appear. I don't know how that happened. One is 1,000, the other one's 5,000. That's correct. I just want to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. So your total bonds in the felony case are $6,000. And then you have no bond as to your misdemeanor case. So you need to work with your attorney, get you in front of the appropriate judges so you can resolve those cases, all right? Mr. Joe, you want to waive his arraignment as to the violation of probation and get him a status date?
Yes.
VOP status, May 28th at 9 o'clock, courtroom 4A.
All right, the court accepts your denial. All right, have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Great weekend, Mr. Joe. All right, I saw another attorney creeping in here. You know what case he's here for?
We had already addressed it.
Okay.
And I gave him the information.
Okay, all right. Can you tell me your name, sir?
My name is Jamel Rucker.
All right, Mr. Rucker, you're here in 2019 CF 10584BO on charge of attempted first-degree murder with a firearm discharge.
My attorney is not present.
Who's your attorney?
My attorney is Jared Jenkins, and I would like to postpone this hearing until he's present.
Well, is Mr. Jenkins, did Mr. Jenkins file notice of appearance in this case? Is Mr. Rucker?
Yes, Your Honor, this case was dismissed on the 20th and refiled on the 21st.
Okay,
It was
and a
in
new
trial
warrant was issued.
posture. So Mr. Jenkins has been on it from when this case originated.
All right.
Back in 2019.
Well,
I'm sorry.
can you get Mr. Jenkins on the line? And, all right, Mr. Rucker, we'll address you in a moment. Step back and we'll try to get your attorney a phone call. Sorry, I didn't mean to wave at you like that, but I was like, I was trying to get your attention. You're wearing a mask, so I can't really tell who you're talking to. All right, can you tell me your name, sir?
Michael Santiago.
Mr. Santiago, you're here in 2021 CT 3191AO on charge of driver's license suspended and expired driver's license. You're here in 2021 CF 4946AO on charge of possession of a firearm by convicted felon, possession of ammunition by convicted felon, and possession of methamphetamine. You're here in 2021 CF 4947 on charges of possession of methamphetamine, possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of cannabis. These facts all arise out of the same set of facts. So the court did find probable cause for your arrest as to all those counts. I'm going to stay your bond in the 2021 CT 3191 case in the amount of $500 in count one. At least $100 in count two. Additionally, your bond is you not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. In 2021 CF 4946AO, the court is going to stay your bond in count one amount of $4,000. Count two, I'm going to set your bond amount of $1,000. And I want to ROR you as to count three. As the 2021 CF 4947AO, I'm going to stay your bond in count one amount of $1,000. I'm going to set your bond in count two, in the amount of $150. Count three, 100. Count four, 100. Condition of the bond that you not possess is did not have any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. In all these cases, do not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case, or in these cases. You have a great day, sir.
Is that also no drugs and alcohol on the 4946?
It's no drugs and alcohol in both cases,
Okay, and no weapons on both
and
cases?
no weapons, no firearms in both cases.
Gotcha, okay, thank you.
If I said that correctly. You can do it, you got time?
No,
Yeah? All right, tell me your name, sir.
My name is Kevin Solomon, sir.
Mr. Solomon, you're here in 2021 CF 4778 AO on charge of selling delivery of cocaine. The judge signed your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case amount of $15,000. Condition of your bond is you not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Now, state, do you have an offer to resolve this no valid driver's license case?
She did, Your Honor, with the withhold. However, he is currently in the process of getting his driver's license.
All right, sir, I'm not going to take any action on your 2020 CT 8083 case. You have a great day, sir. I'm appointed public defender to represent you on the new case.
Thank you.
All right, tell me your name, sir.
Richard Swami.
Mr. Swami, you're here in 2021 CF 4859 AO on charges of burglary of a structure and criminal mischief. The judge signed your warrant. In that case, has already found probable cause for your arrest. I want to state your bond account one in the amount of $3,500 and 100. You're here in 2021 CF 4908 AO on charges of burglary of a structure with damage of $1,000 or more and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. In that case, the court is going to, the judge has already signed your warrant finding probable cause for your arrest. We're going to ask the state, what do you say is the count one in that case?
So the burglary of the structure with damage?
For $1,000 or more damage or more is a punishable life offense.
Your Honor, if it's a punishable life offense, I would ask that you hold on no bond pending an Arthur hearing.
I'll appoint a public defender to represent you in all these cases, but Ms. George, we have 3 more warrants with the same thing, 2 more warrants with the same thing.
No argument, Your Honor.
All right, sir, as a count one, I'm gonna hold you at no bond as to that charge. You wanna stay your bond in count two in the amount of $150. Condition all your bonds in these cases that you have no contact with any victims or witnesses, no return to the scene or location, no contact with any co-defendants if you have any. That was 4908. In 2021 CF 4851, you'll also be in charge of burglary of structure with $1,000 or more, criminal mischief, felony criminal mischief, and grand theft, first degree of $1,000 or more damage. Say what do you say as the count one in that warrant,
State would ask that you hold on no bond pending an Arthur hearing.
Ms. George?
No argument, Your Honor.
All right, sir, in count one in that case, of course, gonna hold you at no bond. You're also, I'm gonna stay your bonds in the other 2 counts in the amount of, I think it's 100 and 150?
I have 150 and 150.
All right, 150 and 150? My handwriting's getting worse as this goes on. Condition of that bond that you had no contact with any victims or witnesses, that you not return to the scene of the location. You're also here in 2021 CF 4856 AO on a charge of burglary of a structure with property damage, of damage of more than $1,000, felony criminal mischief, and grand theft first degree. The judge signing your warrant has already found probable cause as to your arrest. As the count one, state what do you say as the count one?
State asks that you hold on no bond pending an Arthur hearing.
And Ms. George?
No argument, Your Honor.
All right, the court's gonna hold you at no bond as to that charge, and then we'll stay your bonds in the other 2 counts, amount of $150, $150. You're on the out on bond cases, Judge Collins has already took action on the 2020 CF 9869 case, so the court can't take any action, and the other cases, just to add on, it's part of the same
Yes, Your Honor,
transaction
and
occurrence,
the
2021 CF 46580. Yes, ma'am. I have, yeah, 4 cases. What happened? First case is 350, it's 3,500, 100. The other ones are basically the same thing. They're 0, 150, 150, 0, 150. No, it came in with a bond.
So
but
you're
it's-
raising it to none.
I'm setting it none because it's a punishable life offense and it shouldn't have been set. No bond should have been set.
And the conditions on all of them are no contact, no return?
Got no contact, no return.
Okay.
All right, we got Mr. I think I give you Mr. Rucker for accident. All right, Mr. Jenkins is here now.
I am, Your Honor.
All right. Yeah, we were calling you because we didn't know if you were attending or you were coming appearing via phone. All right, sir, can you tell me your name?
My name is Jamel Rucker.
Mr. Rucker, you're here in 2019 CF 10584BO. You're here on charges of attempted first-degree murder with a firearm, a discharge causing an injury. Another charge of attempted first-degree murder with a firearm with a discharge causing injury, conspiracy to commit a first-degree murder, and I think it's accessory after the fact. Accessory after the fact to a life offense, I'm guessing.
Sorry, Judge.
Accessory after the fact to a life offense, okay. First-degree felony, so first-degree felony or life offense. All right, and Mr. Jenkins, Mr. Rucker said he wanted you to be here to give him counsel.
Correct, Your Honor. As far as the probable cause, I've represented Mr. Rucker for almost 18 months on this case. I know it's here for first appearance, but basically what happened is this was set for trial in front on the master trial list. It was hanging out for a while. The state did not have a necessary witness at the time of trial. They null-prossed at the time of trial. They have refiled now. That same witness failed to appear about 3 times for depositions. So under those circumstances, we're going to ask the court to grant a bond on Mr. Rucker, knowing that he was incarcerated for about 21 months prior to the trial.
Yeah.
And now the state has refiled the charges. So I believe on the
Did you ever have an Arthur hearing in this case?
I'm sorry, what was that, Your Honor?
Did you have an Arthur hearing in the first time around?
We did, Your Honor,
And what-
sort of. The IA judge actually checked the box that the finding that there was, the presumption was great on the case. So the downtown judge did not disturb that finding from the IA judge. So he just, based on the initial finding from the initial appearance judge and what he heard from the Arthur hearing, he decided to have no bond.
Okay. So can I disturb that finding, I guess, is the question?
Judge, I think that once they, and this is my opinion, I haven't done the research on it, but I think once they null-prossed it, that's the end of the case. Now they refiled it, it starts back over. So I think that we are entitled to another Arthur hearing if he wants to have that.
All right, State, what do you say?
Your Honor, I'm looking at the prior notes. It looks like he was arrested for this back in July of 2019. So he would have been seen at IA's in July of 2019. There was a hearing and a motion to set bond in September of 2019. I assume that is the other hearing that defense counsel is referencing. And he is correct in that the case was null-prossed and refiled on the 21st, it looks like. But the state would still be asked that you hold him no bond on count 1 and 2 as they are PBL offenses. So this can get back in front of Judge LeBlanc, and if he deems it appropriate to set bond in this case.
All right,
Who
so
knows the procedural
go ahead,
history
Mr.
of this
Jenkins.
case.
Judge, I would just, based on the chronological events of the case, I don't disagree with the state's statement other than I would ask the court to go ahead and grant bond now at IA's, knowing that there's been a witness problem for 18 months since I've been in the case, and the state kind of got around that issue by null-processing and refiling.
Excuse me, and I'm not even the alleged perpetrator of the crime. Oh,
Go ahead. So,
Unfortunately, Mr. Rucker, in the state of Florida, you don't have to be the alleged perpetrator of the crime to be convicted and ultimately serve a life sentence in counts 1 and 2 in these cases. I think I had to give him a bond as to count 3 and 4.
Your Honor, state has no objection to giving bond on 3 and 4, as he's entitled to bond on those charges. However, if you are inclined to give bond, or if Mr. Jenkins wants an Arthur hearing, I would ask for it to be set out, so state could call witnesses.
I think an evidentiary finding is an evidentiary finding by a judge. I don't think it goes stale at any time. So unless obviously facts change or something like that, I don't have enough information to change to say that right now. So I'm going to hold him in no bond as to counts 1 and 2. Going to set bond in counts 3 and 4, the amount of $25,000 on each count. In addition to the bond, you had no contact with any victims, witnesses, or co-defendants in this case. That you not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You're not returned to the scene, the location of the incident where it's happened. I'll leave it open for you to see if Judge LeBlanc has a different opinion that he can now, disturb that, proof evidence presumption great finding by another judge. In my understanding of the law, I'm usually in those cases where facts are, the judge found the facts, usually, don't get, you don't get a second bite at it. All right.
And I would just ask that the court minutes do not reflect that there was a finding of proof evident presumption great.
Yeah, I'm not finding proof evident presumption great. Whoever I don't know if it was Judge Wish or Judge Carter at the time, found proof evident presumption great. I'm not disturbing their finding. So if Ms. Judge LeBlanc wants to hold on to that finding or give you a second shot at it, then you can do it that way.
Understand, Your Honor. All right. Thank you very much.
Have a great day. All right, sorry about that. See that again. Mr. Vasquez, you're here in 2021 CF 4941 AL on charges of possession of fentanyl, possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I reviewed the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Gonna set your bond in count 1 amount of 500, count 2 500, and count 3 150. Addition to bond, not possessing any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Gonna appoint a public defender to represent you. I don't need you to say anything, Mr. Vasquez, but I think at this point in your life, you're 53 years old. And you're gonna let this run wild over your life, the rest of your life? Because you just were released in February of this year for another cocaine case. So it's up to you. What do you want to make a change? You can continue to let this control your life, and you can just do the life sentence, what I call it. You can spend more time in here with us versus out in the world. But that's a choice you're gonna have to decide to make. All right. Have a great day. All right, tell me your name, ma'am.
Sandra Janelle Wicker.
Ma'am, you're here in 2020 MM 519AA for a failure to appear warrant. You're also here in 2020 CF 9800AO for another failure to appear warrant. The judge signing those warrants set your bond in the amount of $0. The public defenders already appointed in your cases. We get you on to your division judge to have an appropriate bond hearing. You have a great day, ma'am.
So I have no bond today?
No, ma'am.
Wilkerson, Jerome, you refuse court.
All right. This is Mr. Wilkerson in 2021 CF 4921AO. Going to appoint a public defender to represent him.
I'll waive his appearance, Your Honor.
All right, he's here on charge of grand theft motor vehicle. Gonna set his bond amount of $2,000, condition of his bond, but did find probable cause for his arrest in his affidavit. Gonna set his bond amount of $2,000, condition of his bond that he not have any contact with any victims or witnesses, not return to the scene of the theft. All right, and Zipper? All right, Mr. Zippier is supposed to be here in 2021 CF 4918AO on charges of possession of fentanyl and possession of heroin. They reviewed the charging affidavit in his case. Did find probable cause for his arrest. Sorry, well, there's a warrant. Apologize. There was a warrant in this case. Did find a probable cause for his arrest. Going to appoint a public defender to represent him.
I'll waive his appearance, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to say his bond's amount of $1,150. Condition of his bond, not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. He's subject to random drug and alcohol testing at his expense. I'll give him 30 days before any narcotics test happens. He's also out on bond in 2020 CF 1450501 and 2020 CF 14731 AO. On cases, and I will revoke the bond in those cases, that new bond is $0. You refuse, correct? Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Zipper refused to join us. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Lloyd Barber.
Mr. Barber, you're here in 2019 CF 10232AO for violation of probation. The judge sign your warrant in this case, I believe. Yep. Set your bond at $0. Your bond's going to remain at $0. You have an out-of-county warrant from Polk County in 2019, CF 8835. In that case, the judge set your bond in your two counts at $2,000 each. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in all your cases. I'm not taking any action in your 2020 CF 11813 AO case. All right, have a great day, sir. I appointed to PD, right?
Yes.
Tell me your name, sir.
Joel Anthony Soto.
Mr. Soto, you're here in 2019 CF 14544AO on violation of probation.
I want to know why I got violated probation because my address never changes.
Hold on. One second. It's alleged that you had a violation of condition D, that you failed to change your address, or you changed your address without permission.
My address
And then,
is...
I'm just telling you, you asked me a question, you want me to answer it, right? So let me answer your question, and I can't do anything about your violations, but I can answer your question as to why you're being violated. One that says you either moved or changed your address without permission. The other one saying that you failed to complete your community service hours at a rate of 8 hours a month. If that's true or not, I don't know. I'm not the judge for that.
Because the cops came and picked me up for the same address that I have for years. My address is 2318 Donwood Lane. I never changed my address.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I'm reading on the affidavit. Judge Sturbridge set your bond at $0. Want to appoint a public defender to represent you. You can talk to Judge Lattimore in a few days at arraignments. Maybe they can resolve the issue for you. All right, have a great day, sir.
And then my community service hours,
Want to appoint a public defender to represent you?
I have to...
You don't stick your own shit, man. Listen, everything you tell me is on the record. You feel like you think that you're making and explaining yourself, and you really making headway. But if If you didn't complete your probation as specified by the judge in the order that's written, you could be violating your probation. Now, you may think it's not a big
I
deal.
have 18 months left, so that's why I don't understand that.
See, exactly my point. You're not listening. You weren't listening. It's specified in the order. Like when they said, you have to complete 8 hours per month. That's exactly what the order says. You have to complete 8 hours per month.
But
All right, so,
I just
listen.
came out of jail in April. Like, I have to wait because I just came out of jail. Like, I was
Right.
in here March 22nd. So that's
Right.
why I don't understand.
You
Like,
talk
why
to
they
Judge
keep
Lattimore about it,
harassing
and
me.
maybe you can get you back on probation and get you, but I can't do that for you right now. So I can't do anything for you today. So have a great day, sir.
When is my next court date?
It's an affidavit. Oh, Mr. Public Defender, you want to waive his arraignment? Well, you got, when's the arraignment dates? I think Fridays, Thursday, Fridays? Yeah, I think Thursday and Fridays, or I think maybe Thursday, Friday next week, probably, somewhere around that time. All right. Yes, sir. Oh, you should call your job. Make sure you understand what's going on. All right. Tell me your name, sir.
Hassan Suhada.
All right, Mr. Swally, you're here in 2018 CF 12588 for on-view violation of probation based on your arrest in 2021 MM 2887 AO for possession of cannabis and possession of drug paraphernalia. And state what are you doing with these kind of cases?
Your Honor, since it's the basis of the violation of probation, I'm not gonna take any action on it right now because I think it would substantiate the violation of probation.
All right, as to your violation of probation, I'll hold you at no bond as to that case. As to your possession of cannabis, I'm gonna set your bond amount $250 as to count one, and $100 as to count two. Additionally, your bond in that case, you're not possessing any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir. And we want to appoint a public defender to represent Ms. Williams in 2020 CF 10969, as well as 2021 CF 4911 AO.
I'll waive her appearance, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Williams is here for a charge of aggravated battery on a corrections officer in 2021 CF 4911 AO. As to that case, I'm going to set her bond amount of $25,000. Addition to her bond, that she
25,000, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am. And she's out on probation in 2020, CF 10969 AO. Of course, going to find an on-view violation of her probation. Well, the law enforcement filed an on-view violation of probation. Want to state her bond is $0 in that case. She's a violent felony offender of special concern. She's not entitled to release on that case until her violation of probation is completed. The law enforcement filed an on-view, correct? That's what, I had an affidavit with a
Right, for a warrant, not
a warrant? It was a warrant? I thought it was, oh, didn't see the warrant, apologize. Well, sorry, it was a warrant, apologize, for in the 2020 CF 10969 AO, still gonna hold her at no bond. She's still a violent felony offender of special concern because of the charge she's on probation for and the new one she picked up. Yes, ma'am. Tell me your name, sir.
Austin Wynn.
Mr. Wynn, you're here in 2020 CF 10381 AO for a violation of probation.
Can I ask,
One second. Make sure I didn't miss another warrant, so I had this as an on-view violation as well. All right. Based on the on-view violation filed in this case. Based on the fact that it says that you committed a new law offense, that's what it said. You were arrested in 2021 MM 2871 AO.
no, it's not. They dropped the charges yesterday, so what's that mean?
I can't hear you.
So They dropped the charges yesterday, so what's that mean?
Well, you can still be violated for your probation, just because it doesn't mean because you dropped the charges, doesn't mean you violate your probation. It's two different separate things. And since you're a violent felony offender of special concern, you're not entitled to release on that case until your violation of probation is completed. Want to appoint a public defender to represent you in that case?
Yes, please.
You have a great day, sir. Tell me your name, sir. Your name. Mr. Arnold, you're here for the Allen County warrant in 2020 CF 415 from Sumner County for a violation of probation. Judge in that case set your bond at none. Your bond's gonna remain at none. We'll get you, I'll appoint a public defender to represent you, get you on to Sumner County as soon as we can. Have a great day, sir. Tell me your name, sir.
Sakim Coward.
Mr. Coward, you're here in 2020, I believe MM 15723 for an out-of-county warrant from Okaloosa. Judge in that case set your bond at none. Your bond's gonna remain at none. We'll get you down to Okaloosa as soon as we can. Have a great day, sir. Appoint a public defender to represent you while we're here. Have a great day. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Genetics Francis.
Ms. Francis, you're here for an out-of-county warrant and from Marion County in 2020 CF 487AX, I'm sorry. The judge in Marion County set your bond at $0 on all of your accounts. We want to get you on to Marion County as soon as we can. I'll appoint a public defender to represent you while you're here in my custody. Have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you, you too.
Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
Dashla Medelis.
Ma'am, you're here in 2019 CF 27247 for a case out of Broward County. The judge in Broward County set your bond at none for a violation of probation. So your bond's going to remain at none. When I'm appointed public defender.
That's, oh, you said Broward?
That's Brevard, I'm sorry. You're correct, Brevard. Sorry, Brevard County. The judge, your bond's going to remain at none as to that violation of probation. We'll get you on to Brevard County as soon as we can. I'm appointed public defender to represent you. Have a great day, ma'am.
You, are they gonna give me like the affidavit that says what the violation is for?
Let's see if I have it. I don't have it. All I have is told me to hold you for a community control violation on 2 counts of child neglect, no bond. Judge Baloo is the one telling me to do that. I don't know. Yeah, you can talk to your PO, you can give them a call and figure out what's going on. All right, does anybody have anything else for the better of the order?
No, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Briefly.
What do we do? All right, well, hold on. Well, Stacey said they had something to talk to me about.
I don't believe it was addressed, Mr. Soto, Joel.
Joel Soto, yeah, we did. Joel Soto, he was here.
Is it VOP?
Yeah.
Is that someone was talking to me, I guess?
Yeah, he was here.
It's no bond, sure.
Anybody else?
No, Your
I
Honor.
forgot. Overlooked. All right. Everybody have a great weekend.
You too.
I need it for this March.